One's a race car that wears almost no disguise. The other is an American icon. They're both Fords and they're both GTs. But as you might guess, there's just a little bit of difference between this Ford GT and this Ford Mustang GT. Hi, I'm Kirk Bell from Motor Authority, and we're here to take Ford's GTs for a back-to-back thrill ride. Let's take a way-back trip with the Ford GT first. The first GT, the GT40, came out of Carroll Shelby's shop for the 1966 24 Hours of Le Mans. The Shelby engineered cars finished 1, 2, 3 and drubbed Ferrari, and in the process they created a performance and racing legend. Ford revived the GT briefly in 2003 with a retro-styled mid-engine supercar. In 2016, the Blue Oval did it again, with a mid-engine demon built with racing and the 50th anniversary of that 1, 2, 3 finish in mind. This GT sports supercar credentials inside and out. It's built around a carbon fiber tub. Most of the body panels are carbon fiber too. The jet-inspired body has active aerodynamics in front and in back. That rear wing raises and lowers, and it helps the car stop when it becomes an air brake. Ford stuffs a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 behind the driver. It's worth 647 horsepower and 550 pound-feet of torque, but it doesn't make the most alluring sounds. It wails, it huffs, it drones. It also shreds tire treads, dispatches 0 to 60 runs in fewer than 3 seconds, and rockets the GT to 216 miles per hour. Thrilling acceleration meets unbelievably flat handling in the Ford GT. Its inboard suspension gets adjustable dampers and a dual spring setup at each corner to give it a decent ride even on choppy roads like this one, even in sport mode. Flip it to track and hydraulics lower the GT 2 inches to just 2.75 inches off the ground. Now it's even more precise, and the old school hydraulic steering provides welcome feedback. The suspension works with the huge tires to provide more grip than any driver can use on a public road, unless that road happens to be the Nürburgring. Loud, impractical, and impossible to live with every day, the Ford GT also has the race car goods to make it a once-in-a-lifetime drive. So what about the Mustang GT? No shock here, it's the everyday driver the GT could never be. It makes the powertrain noises we wish the GT supercar had, and its stickers for 1/10 of the cost of its supercar brother. The Mustang's GT package was new in 1965. It cost $165, and it added disc brakes, driving lights, and GT40-inspired racing stripes. Since then, it's morphed into a muscular Grand Tourer with big horsepower, if not as big as what you get in the Shelby GT350 and GT500. History hasn't left the Mustang GT behind. If anything, the Mustang's left history behind. The live axle? Gone. Single-digit fuel economy? That's in the past too. These days, the Mustang GT sports Ford's fantastic 5-liter V8. Boasting 460 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque, it comes with either a 6-speed manual or a 10-speed automatic. We'd stick with the stick. The 10-speed isn't tuned as well as we'd hoped, while the manual slots into gears with a positive mechanical feel. In peak performance mode, Ford says it's good for a 0 to 60 time of less than 4 seconds. If you haven't driven a Mustang GT lately, be prepared for adept handling. The Mustang GT now offers adaptive shocks that let it cushion the worst roads or dial in firm, direct handling on back roads as great as these. It's agile, capable, and composed. And especially with Performance Packs 1 or 2, the handling is almost unbelievable compared to the old live axle Mustangs. There's even automatic smoky burnout control. The Mustang GT's electric line lock lets any driver lay down a perfect pair of black rubber Comet trails. It's a car with hilarious levels of performance for the price. The Mustang GT may not be a supercar, but for something near $40,000, it can deliver astronomical thrills. And of course, there's always a Shelby or a Bullitt to step up to. Both the Ford GT and the Ford Mustang GT trace their roots back more than 50 years. Each represents the best Fords ever delivered to enthusiasts, whether they're ready to spend tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars for unbridled American badge performance. The Ford GT delivers slashing acceleration and hyperspace top speeds. It's a custom-built Le Mans-ready race car with a twin-turbo V6 that just needs a better soundtrack. The Mustang GT? It's a rolling piece of Ford and American history, and thankfully, it no longer drives like a piece of history. This latest Mustang GT has BMW in its sights, and it pulls up impressively close. This isn't a comparo, it's a celebration. The future of performance cars looks very different today than it did a decade ago. With high-performance battery-powered supercars and even a Mustang hybrid on the way, gas-powered muscle cars and supercars like these are bound to become even more rare and more special. We hope there's room for both in the electrified future we envision, where the rush of V8 power and the thrill of a low-slung, Le Mans-style supercar will never go out of style. For Motor Authority, I'm Kirk Bell. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.